Inside our minds. I mean, what is inside our minds? Where children go around bullying other children to make themselves feel better because they have nothing else better to do in life. Today I am going to talk about bullying, trauma, and coping mechanisms. I will be sharing my bullying experiences, trauma, and coping mechanisms along with other people sharing their experiences in some interviews. Back in 2012, I moved to Devon after living in Hampshire for 11 years. I was very shy and nervous to meet new people as I had grown up with my neighbours and friends back home. Primary school was okay. I was still very nervous about not knowing anyone and not being able to make any friends, but I made a few. September 2012 is when I started secondary school as a little innocent year 7 that aspired to make friends and end up with an amazing education at the end of the 5 years. Wow, 5 years of hell. I was really shy and emotional as I was still very new and sounded very different to everyone around me. I made a few friends in my first year, but with friends came bullies as I was constantly made fun of and told that I was anorexic by boys in my year. Year 8 is when the trauma started, as I was living with a single mum and brothers, but we didn't have a lot of money. My mum made us food from tins and packets that we could find in the kitchen, but I was very picky, so sometimes I just went without. Showers became a luxury as my depression wouldn't allow me to take care of myself, which led to people calling me names because of my aroma. Social services came along and messed around with our family, which left a huge scar inside my mind. I dealt with the pain by making myself feel even worse pain in exchange. Another year came as I had more endless bullying, but it wasn't just from the boys bullying me. Oh no, the girls chimed in as well. Also with social media that everyone was chuffed about. I got to end my life by a bully that didn't want me to succeed. From the start of my secondary school era. The rest is a blur of me leaving school. Between the bullying and the trauma, I really didn't know what my future was going to look like, as I didn't know that I would have made it to this chapter of my life. I enrolled in college where I found my passion for filmmaking so I can tell my story and hopefully find others so they don't feel so alone. Now, let's talk to some of my classmates about their experiences. What type of mental health do you struggle with?
That's a big question. Okay, so I have been treated for manic depression and I take antidepressants for that reason. Primarily that one.
Be better to ask what I don't struggle with. Depression, anxiety, the common ones.
Yes, like a common theme of depression. Yeah, I got depression as well, unfortunately.
What kind of mental health issues affect you in a day-to-day life?
So as well as that, I have 2 children, so I also suffer with postpartum depression as well. That was quite difficult when you're raising small children. It's quite hard when you're sleep deprived. And I have quite a busy life, so mental health is quite impactful on the fact that I don't get a lot of downtime. It's very busy.
I guess my anxiety is probably the worst of the brunt. It makes social situations hard. And crowds and all kinds of garb.
Again, it's kind of like common ground. Just sometimes getting out of bed is quite difficult, and not thinking too much about the difficult things you've got to do in your life and trying to deal with situations as they come along. But even really simple things that shouldn't be an issue become a bit of an issue, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you have anything to help you throughout life with mental health?
So as I say, I'm on medication, but also I try and make sure that I schedule in time for myself. So I make sure that I have like a hot bath and I can listen to music and have actual like downtime in the evening. That's really important.
Medications, they help a little, and then just generally the people around me.
That's quite difficult. I've again, like everyone else seems to have done, I've had the tablets, which haven't really helped at all. I've had a bit of psychotherapy, which was amazing in the moment, but I kind of felt so good afterwards, but then it kind of gradually faded away, and within a couple of days, it kind of the effect had gone again. So in the moment, it was amazing, but obviously you can't have a therapist talking to you 24 hours a day. So
What coping mechanisms do you use to help with your mental health?
What coping mechanisms do I kind of just lean into the stress? I think stepping away from a situation is something I've had to learn over like a number of years, to just take myself away from a situation to be able to breathe. And also, you've probably heard of it, but like kind of like 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, 3 things I can touch. I find if I'm sort of having a panic attack, that's really useful.
Music, noise cancelling earphones in like crowded places, they tend to help ease the noise a little bit.
I've always said to everyone, just use anything that's free. If the sun's shining, just feel that warmth on your skin. We're lucky enough that we've got the coast next to us. So I go to the beach, I take fresh air, wildlife, trees, and then at home we're just watching something, a movie or a series that I enjoy, and then you can just, for an hour or two, you become someone else and your problems just disappear, don't they?
Yeah. Quite a lot of coping mechanisms that people use to deal with their past is escapism, like watching television programs or playing video games, where they are living a different life or even watching another one fall apart. If you are feeling singled out or bullied, just remember that you're not alone. Make sure to contact an adult that you trust, and don't listen to the bullies.